Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to Live with Chris, but slash, there's no Chris. I fired him because he always says that, so I thought he should. I'm joking. He had to go to a funeral today, so I replaced him. We've upgraded, and I've got the voice and uh, Collins, so we'll downgrade tomorrow when he comes back. I'm joking again, anyway, because he's gonna freak out because I said that. Anyway, a couple things we're going to cover. Today is the 13th of January. Mr. Mufareh popped in on Oran's last night, or whatever the name of it is now. And it was really interesting. He covered the explanation of what a domain means. And everything that Ash did, he explained. And I knew this, but it made sense. He built Onpassive with everything that he would use personally to build a business, no matter what business it is, except he scaled it out so that the masses can use it. That's powerful. That is super powerful. And a domain, which is really cool, he gave a scenario. You know, when you go to people, and we all go to our friends, our family, and especially if you've jumped all over the internet trying to find that golden goose. And we found the golden goose. It's Onpassive. There's nothing out there like it. I know. I've done this 20 years. But while we're jumping around, people change domain names, they change emails, they change all that. And anybody that's in business that looks and they see you flopping around, they're not likely to follow you. So it's very important that you get a domain that you want. Think about it now before you go out and just grab one. And you can keep that domain because Onpassive is now a registrar of domain names. It actually is part of ICANN, which is I listen when the video when it's uploaded, I'll make sure we put it on the channels because nobody's going to explain it better than Ash did last night. That's what Colin said when he came in. He said, "Wow, the explanation. Yeah, there's no reason for me to try to explain it when all we got to do is play that video. It's very good." But the point is, you own. Listen, McDonald's owns, I believe, one of the top real estate owners in the world. Why? Every McDonald's, they don't rent the land, they own it. It's really powerful. And Onpassive or digital, it's digital property. So you have an address. This is coolzone.ai for me, for example, or whatever. Robin has her domain, Collins have a domain, and you keep that. And as you grow and as you brand, because he made a good point last night. He said, you know, the Alexa rating, go look up Onpassive. Now, you would think eventually it's going to be number one in the world. Maybe not, because he doesn't care if Onpassive's number one ranking in Alexa. He would rather have a million of us be ranked very high. That's pretty cool. That's absolutely, and people need to wrap their head around how powerful that really is, that you're building you and the company wants you to. Any other company I've been in, you get an affiliate link, which is something.com / some goofy stuff or your username or something, and then you hide it with something to try to make it look better. No. So the person at that time, the company's getting the credit for branding, even though you shared the link. Now, if you get your own domain, watch out. And that's pretty powerful. That made a lot of sense when he explained it. And you're going to be able to pick whatever domain you want. If it's available, somebody asked, well, can I have anything I want since you have your own registrar? No. You put in for what you want. Everybody that has domains goes through ICANN. So you have to find something. Now, here's the point. If I wanted martydegarmo.com, I don't think there's another one, but let's say there was, you can add a little bit. You can add a little bit to that. And it will be available and it's yours for the rest of your life if you keep it. And also, a lot of times with the domain, especially on GoDaddy, I didn't do it, but you could buy a bigger package where you get your own email, you get all these extra bells and whistles. Onpassive's going to have all that extra stuff. So if I'm CoolZone.ai, I could have CoolZone.ai email. So it's all hooked together. It looks more professional. Anyway, below it, I had went through and did the AI cloud, the definition of it in Google. That is very, very powerful. Multi-regions, multi-data centers. Because I remember when we were talking, I said this last night, when I first met Collins. Yeah, they're big. This is unbelievable. Are they going to own their own data center? It's one of the first things he asked. I don't know if he remembers that, but he can tell you. And I went, yeah, that's powerful. And then Ash brought it up like the next week. It's like he was reading our minds. It was either the next week or whatever. And that's a big deal. Now, when you get regional AI cloud, you're in many data centers, and it's all over the place, and it's auto adjusting, which means you go into a webinar, and maybe you got 50 people, and it's growing to 10,000. Onpassive goes those kind of numbers and higher. It adjusts as you need. You need more, it gives you more. Where without that extra valve to open up the flow of what you need, sometimes you get that sputtering or you get the looping. Now, Tuesday, they're going to have the new version. We're going to see this in much bigger impact, and the looping should be gone. Now, that doesn't mean if you have an internet issue that this is going to repair everything you have. And I had brought this up before, and I'm going to tell you this is from experience. You could have the best router, you could pay the most money. I do, because this is my business. But what I found out was something's not right. I got a new router, it just should be working better. And when I called the people in, I have Verizon. The guy came, I was lucky, had 16 years experience, loved his job. Of course, I drilled him for 20 minutes. I thought I was going to have to feed him eventually. A really nice guy. And he told me after he investigated all the stuff, yeah, you have the best and the best you can get, but it stops at your pole. There's a filter at the pole. And then from the pole to the house, uh, let's say it went 100 to the pole, and from the pole to the house was 70, and from 70 to in the house was 40. All the connections, even from the outside in. When he was done, I went click and it went boom, it was there. I logged in, boom, it was there. When I went to the next O Connect, boom, it was there. I see people looping, I see people with problems with the chat or whatever. There's a good chance that I even heard some people say, I got the best you can get. It's not me, it's not me. Trust me, I had it. I'm only saying from my experience, if you're getting a problem, because we're very high scaled technology. So I just don't think at this time we can blame the company for some kind of problem like looping. So you might want to call somebody out and tell them I don't like what's going on. Everybody I'm with is okay, and you might be surprised. They might find some little issue between the outside of your house and inside your house. Like my router has a white light. Well, it had blue, and then they had red. And it was blinking. And one time it wasn't blinking. So I asked him, I said, what color should that be? He said, white. I said, well, and it was light green or some blue or something. He goes, oh, you're getting service, but not all of it. He knew right away. But we don't know that. You don't know that. And yet you're still paying the same amount. So make sure you get what you're paid for. That's what I wanted to say. Anyway, we're going to go in order. I'm going to take it over to Collins. And here's what I want to tell you before I do that. Some people, I don't know how many, it doesn't matter how many. Some people, when you go into your profile, it's blank. They know, but what they want is they want a list of who's having this problem. Now, don't go crazy and start writing support. We're going to post something in updates that you follow that. I'm going to get a hold of Julie Wynn. She doesn't know it yet. She's probably still sleeping. She lives in California. She can set up something where you can put it in. Very simple. They want like your name and your email. That's it. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Let me say that one more time. Don't do it yet. When we post it, it'll tell you exactly what you got to do. You put it in, the company gets it automatically, and we'll run through and get all these profiles back in. Okay. Now, one more thing I need to cover. What was it? Okay. Um, there's some areas that are paying or not paying, whatever. Stay cool. They know they're working on it. Okay. So don't panic. Trust me. They know what you're saying. They're watching. Some of the stuff is they have to critique and adjust to make sure it's working. If I think about something else, I'll come on back on at the end. I'm going to turn it over to Collins Manna. I think with this crazy week and all the IT and AI stuff they brought up, I need to bring in an expert, and here he is, Collins Manna, and then we'll turn over to the voice afterwards to fancy things up at the end. Go ahead, Collins. It's all yours.
Thank you, Marty, for inviting me. It's just a pleasure to be here with Robin and yourself. Just want to greet everyone on the those who are chatting on the chat side and watching. Just want to wish you a happy Saturday. So, we just want to dive a little bit deeper on the AI cloud computing, which Mr. Mufareh, told us on Wednesday night. AI cloud is really massive, really, really massive. It's a big deal. When I heard it, I was like, wow, this is really huge. Remember, we had the first data center and they said, yeah, the first data center was about 1 billion capacity, maxed out because of the data. And now we're talking about the second. We're talking about multi-region cloud computing data center. And as we speak, O Connect is residing on that cloud computing data center. If we look at O Connect, it's massive data, it's big data because O Connect is our video conferencing platform. And you're looking at the load and everything there is a need for data center. And thank God they came with one of the most sophisticated data center. Now, when you're talking about multi-region, what does it mean? And we're talking about cloud. A lot of people think like, oh, cloud is just something maybe in the outer space. No, it's about a lot of connectivity, wires, cable, stuff running across different regions, because they have a lot. If we want to look at it, the connectivity or the architecture behind it is really complex. It means you're looking at your client server, your desktop, like I'm sitting on my computer now, the way they build it, which one will be closer to me where I can get, I can really get all my data, retrieve all the data, what I'm searching for. Where is it? Which area I can get? So now, Mr. I said, all right, we have one in UK. The system will pick. There is one server in UK where all information is there. You can get same information, same like MARTY Digamo. So when you look at it, the beauty about multi-region, if you look at the beauty, we're talking about data security. That's the beauty. It enhanced data security and compliance because one of the things, data is something that you can't joke with it. You have America has their own law, Canada will have their own law, the way they manage their data. In European will have their own law, the way they manage. So you need to follow all that regulation. Now you look at where the multi-region are all located. It comes with security and compliance. And it helped to enhance data replication across the multiple regions. So for instance, what MARTY Digamo is using is same what I'm using. That is where AI can replicate everything. And what will happen again? Just think if there is disaster, they have backup and disaster recovery. There is backup and so for instance, if one region fall apart because of disaster, it will replicate it. The moment the system come up, it replicate and then upload the system as if nothing have happened. And what will happen is if, say, for instance, one region which I'm close to, the data center I'm close to, or the cloud service server which I'm close to has a problem, the system will reconnect me to the nearest one again and I'll just be working as if nothing has happened. You will not even realize it. So the closer you are to a multi-region cloud service, the more faster everything is, the more clarity, as if, and when you look at a lot of people ask, but why do we need it? And why? How comes? What is happening behind? Why shouldn't we have one? Think about load. 1 billion people hitting a server, that server can crash. Or say 20 billion or say 5.5 billion people hitting a server, the server will crash. So they have something, the multi-region comes in, and then they have a system called load balancer that balance the traffic. Say if this particular region can hold 1 million people, for instance, if I come and I want to be 1,000,001, the system will redirect that one traffic to the nearest one just to balance the load. So there is a system within the architecture called load balancer that balance everything across the region. And that is how crazy it is, and you can go on and on and on. As Marty said, the more load, the system can easily expand and readjust to connect you, to give you that greater possibility for you to extract data. Because no, you are hitting a server for information and you're coming out. The moment you click a button, it goes and pick information, bring it back to you. And that is what we have been doing. Now, human being is, we are now integrated into machine lives. So everything you do, machine is playing a big part. Computer system is playing a big part. Without computer, we cannot even survive again. And this is where data center play a very big part of it. We're talking about big data, like Dr. Tari talk about big data. You talk about big data, data mining, data modeling. That's where AI comes. For instance, talking about business, how will business benefit from all of this? The AI mechanism will do what? Extract useful data within the data center and give them exact, information, the information they are looking for. And that's what they call data mining. Looking at the data and say, this is what you need. The system can look at it and say, yes, though we have this big data, but this is what will profit your business. It comes with greater profitability across the board for business, for within the business atmosphere. And we can go on and on, but it's a massive, massive deal. And it is cost effective, as we see. Onpassive now is in within our cloud service. Think about how much Onpassive, as a company, we're paying to AWS. It's millions, tens of millions of US dollars. Some company pay £1 million a month. Some pay 33 million pounds a year. Because the larger the data, the more data is like metered. It's like electricity. So the more you consume, the more you pay. So the more space you acquire, the more the company will charge you. But thank God, now we are there, Connect, reciting on our cloud computing data center, AI driven. What do you think the company will do? The company will be saving that amount. Instead to pay to Amazon, now it is back in-house. And what will happen? The company will be more profitable. And what will happen to the founders? We also will benefit from what Mr. Mufareh is building, because he said, I want to take you with me. And this is where he is leading us to. So, Marty Digamo, let me give it back to you. Hello, Marty, are you there?
I'm here. I was caught goofing off. No, I was trying to answer somebody. I'm going to turn it over to the voice, Robin Noble. Robin, you go wherever you want to go, because if people don't know this by now, Ash said you're always right. So what am I going to say? You're always right.
It's wonderful to be here with both of you on the Saturday morning. Nice and warm inside with the snow and the cold air out there. So much to talk about and so much to be excited about. You know what? The first thing that hit me was when I realized that Ash has built Onpassive for us. And every time we hear about new products, every time Ash talks to us, we learn a different facet of this diamond that he has developed and created based on his knowledge and skills, based on his experience of multiple industries that he's worked in, the knowledge base that he has to keep attaining a higher and higher level, but he built it the way he would want to have products that he could use himself. I mean, how exciting is that? I'm a little peon in this big Onpassive mosaic. I'm just one of those little mosaic chips in some of the most incredible designs. And I get to benefit from all of this, both in terms of learning. I mean, this is an educational journey as much as a financial or a spiritual or a do-good journey with Onpassive. This is actually information that for anybody who wants to be part of the world these days really needs to know and understand. You know, AI technology is coming in. It's here. It's not coming in. We've been using ATMs for ages. We've been using terminology that has become so, we've become so blasé about using these words, but we don't realize just what the impact has been to us. So, you know, thank you, Ash, again. Thank you, tech team, again, for what has been created that we benefit from. I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping, as it were, and bringing you up to date on this, because I don't have the same technical knowledge as Collins, for instance, with what he does, both professionally as well as from his own interest. And I know that Marty way surpasses this. Marty and I have some amazing conversations, and we take it out into different categories and areas. But I'm going to bring it back into some of the basics that we really need to focus on now as founders or members of this magnificent company, founder affiliates. Because as we're hearing in these last few times that Ash has come forward from the corporate to last night with Ron, things are starting to move fast. And if you don't know where to find things now, if you don't know how to get the basis and the basics of what needs to be done, you are going to be left behind, because we don't all have the time to keep holding hands anymore. When a webinar starts, we all want to be right on par with Ash listening to what has been said. So, as an example, learn your back office. We have 2 back offices that we have access to as founders and founder affiliates. We migrated from founders, but that back office still is used for the update section, primarily the update section, which is where some of the programs like the Onpassive 360, those links are put in there. The information is put in there. The recordings of webinars and corporate webinar links are put in the update sections in the founders area. The other section that is used to a lesser degree by some individuals and more by others is the posting in the webinars. So some people are using that to post all their webinars as well. If that's of interest to you, check in there. This is now in the back office in the in the founders back office. In the OES, which is where we all migrated to, the beautiful blue screen and beautiful blue website, is where we need to find where the banner is. The banner is where you have at the top by the dashboard, and that is where it expands to read more. You need to know where these things are, because that's where updates are put. That's where quick information gets put by Ash and by anybody else that is asked to do so. So please know these areas, because when a webinar starts, if you don't know this, yes, you're going to be delayed. But when you keep contacting people who are on the webinar, trying to pay attention so that ultimately they can help you with what's being said, it distracts everybody. So please, let's start being responsible. The other thing is, some of us, myself included, did not know that the chatbot in OES, for instance, is how to raise a support ticket. In the Founders section, there is a drop down and it actually says support. But in the OES section, you go to the chatbot and click in and ask for support information. And you will be given the email, or you'll be given directions on how to raise a ticket. Because in the drop-down section where it says support in the OES, it's showing you what tickets have been raised and what tickets have been closed. It does not give you a spot to actually raise the ticket. I learned something new. I didn't know that. I also don't need to contact support right now. I'm taking the attitude of I'm waiting to see. We've been told there are updates and upscales and upgrading and rebalancing and reconnections that are happening. So I'm waiting for all of that to happen. And then if there is still concerns, I will then contact support in due course. The other thing too is with these updates and upgrades and upscalings that the company is doing behind the scenes every single day, and most likely multiple times a day, please get into the habit of refreshing your computer before actually going into your back office or going to a webinar. This will help the system to pick up any of the changes that are being made. And as of Monday, Tuesday, and next week, we will not have to refresh from the OConnect standpoint in and of itself, but the OES back office might still need some of that help while it is still connecting. There will come a point in time where we won't have to do any refreshing at all. But remember, we're still growing, and with these incredible clouds and databases that are being added, with all the extra people getting on and getting more involved now, we want to help the system upscale as well. It did very well when there were 5,000, 10,000 people on the different areas of Onpassive in the back office. But we now have so many more people. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people that are on the system all the time. Onpassive never shuts down. You know, this is working 24/7 around the world on all these different areas. And even my bank will send me a message saying data not available until such and such a time. And too bad, you can't get it. You don't know what your balance is. You don't know if a check has gone through. Onpassive is not doing that. So let's respect the work that's being done, help and do what we can as well, and be part of all of this together. Another big thing, we're getting better at this, but this has been something that's really bothered me for quite a while, is can we please be proud of the company name and spell it correctly? Capital letters. If you have a chat, if you have a group and you've spelled it in small letters, please go in and edit it. Spell it with capital letters. If you're writing posts, if you're writing messages, if you're sending messages, if you're acknowledging anything in any of the webinars, please spell it correctly. Capital letters, large letters. And this is in every language all around the world. It's one word, only one way to spell it. Stand tall, stand proud, because Onpassive is doing the work for us, and we should be proud of what we have. The other thing I've noticed personally in helping other founders is when you purchase your OConnect product, sometimes it does not automatically show the icon in the back office. I have found that if you purchase and it says the sale has gone through, go right up to the top and refresh that page. As soon as you refresh, the icon appears. And I think this is also causing some stress for people who think they've not received it. This is a series of tickets for support that can be eliminated so easily because it is there. So just refresh it, you'll see the icon, but also to double check, go to your My Subscriptions because it's also listed there. And in that My Subscriptions line, it's really quite exciting because it shows the day that you've purchased it with the date. It shows your ending cycle, and I'm sure it'll be populated with so much more information as it becomes available to us as well. So we are doing so much and we're going forward so quickly. Well done. And to those of you who are becoming more aware and waking up, wonderful, because the products that we have and what are coming are exciting. This is a digital property. You know, we're not just floating around out there in the air, which is what it might seem like. There is a purpose to everything that is being done. And also, just as a last thing to think about, if you deliberately have bad intentions towards the company, don't think that the company's not going to find out who you are. You're dealing with somebody and some of the best minds in the industry of being able to track, of being able to, you know, it boggles my mind that somebody thinks that they can get one over Ash and Onpassive. with everything that this company is, don't be silly. Don't ruin your chances of something really fantastic with all of us. Don't slow down the process that is being put in place. And we are so close because of a founder making a negative or a disastrous choice. You know, we don't need to spend the extra time fixing something that really should not be fixed or doesn't need to be fixed. But these are just some of the comments that I'm passing along to you because of comments that I receive from people. And I know we're doing this together, and it is such an exciting time. So let's stay together. Let's hold each other's hands. Let's move forward, and let's succeed together, because that's what Ash wants for all of us as well. Thank you both. Thank you, everyone.
Boom, baby. Drop the mic. Drop the mic, both of you. Let me just say a couple things. One is, remember, another thing, because you're always reminded, I should never get on the screen with these two because I'm going to have trouble stopping. But remember this. Anything you see out there that puts a bad light onto Onpassive, or putting a bad light on your business, my business, and everybody we've grown to know. Onpassive has drained oceans and knocked down walls, and I have friends and family across the globe. And if I see something that, don't hype up Onpassive. I got a news flash for everyone. Most of you know this. If you just tell everybody that what they get in Onpassive, they already don't believe it. So why would you make it more? It's not necessary. I dumb it down when I tell people. I don't tell them all the stuff they're going to get right in the beginning, because they're going, yeah, right. They think, wait a minute, I'm going to get a lottery ticket. I get to put on the amount, and I guarantee I'm going to win eventually. Come on. So don't blow it up, and don't be dumb. I am not at the level of a Collins or the company, but I can tell you what, if you do it, I can find you. So I know they can. So be smart. And by the way, if you see something, not only is the company its brother and sister's keepers, so are you. So if we see something, we should say something. I'm not saying go to the person and scream and yell. I wouldn't want that to anybody. But you go to them and say, this is not true. Take it down. They want to give you a hard time. Listen, they can find anybody. They can find any. I know they're finding people now. Now, there's a gentleman here. I don't see his name right now. He asked Ash about his country. I don't know if Robin remembers his name. Henderson or something. It doesn't matter. They know. I just want to let you know that it has been relayed that the country you live in, the Dominic. That's it. Not Dominic Republic, Dominic. Dominic, is it? Robin, I think?
Dominica.
That's it. Yes, they know. So we've done our part. The company knows whatever it is, it is. Just wanted to let you know that. Because I saw you ask a couple times on here. If you ask Chris to do it, he does it. Okay? Trust me. What was the other one? This is powerful. We all said this, but I want you to understand something. Ash Mufareh was a super affiliate. Okay, he built companies as an affiliate. He brought in so many people and so much revenue and so much whatever. He built companies, and he built tools that he needed to do that. And he has people contact him. Mr. Mufareh, this is so-and-so. I want you to join me here. Mr. Mufareh, come here. Of course they want him, because they know when he comes, he's going to have a system that works, and he's going to bring in a lot of people. He built that system for all of us. And that's why he did it. Put that in your head. And if you're going to say, well, I don't know if I can do any, listen, you are a hero. The industry is a pyramid. And I mean it, I want you to visualize this. 1 or 2% do okay. Some do very well, but it's like 1%, really. And everybody down does less and less and less. 98% of the people going online, they don't make any money. In fact, a very high percentage loses money. Onpassive flipped it upside down. Now people can say, oh man, listen, go by the fact. You wait, watch and see what happens. I'm not going to go talk you into staying. You want to go, go. But I'll tell you this. For what you have what skin in the game that we have is a joke. Let's go back to that for 1 minute. We were told a long time ago, 97 to be a founder, and your product's going to be somewhere between $200 and $300. This is the one time that the company did not tell the truth. Oh, I got people panicking right now. Here's why. Because they gave the 97 back. You can use it to buy the product. And by the way, the product was nowhere near $200 and $300. And you get paid for it if somebody buys it. Come on. We all knew this. We all knew this for a year and a half, more than a year and a half. Some of us knew it for over 5 years. So when we act surprised that something's happening, the only surprise is I'm surprised you're acting surprised. We all knew. So when people say, I thought we weren't going to be left behind, listen, I've done this since I've been in. I know these two people have done it. I grab people. I don't just pull them up. I lift them above myself. But the day's got to come when you grab somebody's hand that they at least walk with you. That we should not have to piggyback somebody or drag somebody because they don't want to walk. Don't do that. This is too big. If they don't see it, you're not going to make them see it. Don't try to do that. You don't have to sell anybody on Onpassive. But I do want to say, I hope you don't take that route and not go. The other thing is, well, do I have to buy Connect? No. Can I wait and buy the third product or something I like better? Yes. You don't have to buy anything. But here's the point. The first round of issuing or divvying out people from the holding tank is going to start very soon. This first round, I wouldn't miss no matter what. So how do you get in? Remember, it's in it to win it. In it is, I'm a founder. Win it is, start the engine. Starting the engine means you paid for the first product. The first product happens to be Connect. I can't imagine anybody not wanting Connect because right now we're probably averaging $10 to $15 a month for 25 people on the panel, 10,000 people in attendee. Seriously, how long have we been using it? How many times did they charged us again? They didn't. They extended the time or they dropped the price. Nobody does that. Thank God Ash is not a normal CEO. Thank God above. He's not thinking money. He has people around him, thank God, that are thinking about the company of money because Ash would give away the firm. Well, I'm joking about that. He's not stupid. He's a very intelligent man. But he is constantly wanting to give. So if you're going to listen, part of the mindset of success is very simple. Some people look at ways to save. Some people look at ways to win. I never met a millionaire that cuts coupons. Never. People that win take a step. They take that step. And the beauty of Onpassive is the path we're taking has already been plowed. The weeds have been cut down with a machete, and he's laying out a golden road for us. And all we have to do is walk behind. And if you want to run, you can run. You can soar. I don't care what your passion is. I don't care who you are, where you're from. Onpassive doesn't give a darn about your color, your sex, fat, ugly, goofy. It doesn't matter. In fact, we have them all. But it doesn't care. What it says is, if you're in it, you're going to win it. How quick? As quick as it happens. But let me ask you the alternative. Plan B. Forget the time. Let's say it took 2 years to get to where you're really, really happy. Let's just say it took 2 years. How long is plan B going to take you to get there? It won't happen. Most people retire in the United States, very high percentage, in poverty. They barely made it for the 40 years they worked, and now they're expected for the next 10 to 15 to work to live on even less. My mother-in-law is not getting some of her medicine because it's $200 or $300 a month. You know what she makes in Social Security? $1,200. And she's living with my daughter. She couldn't afford to live on her own. That's reality. That's where people are going. Yeah, you could make a big salary. You could. It's not happening. It's very, very rare. Onpassive will take you to the other land. It will take you where you want to go. But if your mind is, I belong here, this is all I've ever known, that's good for him and good for her, that's not me and I'm not that person, good, because you shouldn't be anyway. But if you put a limitation, it's your own imagination of limitation. It's not the company. I'm going to run as hard as I can. Why? I'm in a Lamborghini. Why would I drive around in first gear when I got five gears and 1,000 horsepower? I want to fly like the wind. It doesn't make sense. Everything was built for us already. So, and here's the other cool thing. In the business outside of Onpassive, the philosophy of it is, I got mine, you get yours. No doubt about it. I got mine, you get yours. But what comes out of their mouth is, you follow me in 90 days and I'll set you free. 120, you'll be just like me. All this bullshit phases that people say that's not true. But Onpassive, you set your goal. You do what you want. You shine. You know, Chris is going to a funeral today of an uncle. And he said to me last night, did he really live everything? Or did he retire and say, this is just the way life is? It doesn't have to be. It does not have to be. Especially when you were given a ticket where you are a hero. As said it, as talked last night, and I'm going to generalize everything he said. It was all about us. It wasn't about him. It just wasn't. And if you think it is, or you have some kind of anxiety, I want you to remember something. I say it all the time. Ask Mufareh is the CEO of Onpassive. You are in Onpassive. That answers every question you could have. And Robin said it so much, she drives me insane. But she's right. Stay in the now. Why are you racing ahead? You know what? I got people asking me, well, what if blank, 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 something that might be 6 months down the road, and they didn't migrate right? What the freak do you care what's going to happen in 8 months? You didn't even buy the product yet. Stay in the now. Don't run ahead. Listen, there's little things. We'll have meetings and some ideas that we can share with each other that if you want to run, you can run. I share a lot of stuff with people. I would do it. Mike Ellis does it. Dan Street does it. A lot of people do it. I've shared with these two people here. That's not a problem. I want to do it. I'm here because everybody wins. And this is unbelievable. I think this will be the biggest company that ever existed. Anyway, Collins, you want to do closing remarks, and then we'll let Robin do it, because if I keep going, we'll be here all day.
Yes, thank you, Marty. Well said. You know, we are really in a better place. There is no place better than Onpassive. There is the product, there is the market, as Marty have just said. There is no way. It's just that Mr. Mufareh is controlling everything, because if they open it, it will just explode everything. So with every business, you need that control. But honestly, as Marty have just said, you must be in it to win it. Be in it means you must own the product. Doesn't matter if you're a founder. If you don't want to own it, that's fine. But being it means you must start the engine, open the door for customers to come into your own business. So I just want to thank you, MARTY, for inviting me and Robin here. And just want to greet everyone. Wish you a blessed Saturday.
Go ahead, Robin. I'm sorry. I muted myself.
This is, again, another incredibly productive, informative. I'm listening and learning from the two of you. And I really, really enjoy it when we have these types of conversations, because it does expand the mind. It does make us think. It makes me think. I can't speak for others. Do you know what? I have a position in Onpassive that didn't cost me anything. I paid $97 to get my founder's position. That was then credited to my account. The price that we were told originally, in the vicinity of what we would be paying, has been much less than that. And by purchasing OConnect with all the discounts and the thank yous and the appreciation of Ash to his founders, that amount was returned to me with the first sale, when somebody bought their position, activated their position by purchasing OConnect in my organization. I have got so much to be grateful for, because exactly as MARTY said earlier, working with other companies, we were always promoting the other company. And there was never a thank you beyond a product or a minimum commission, unless you pushed and pushed and pushed. And if you didn't know the dynamics and the logistics of creating in those other industries, it did not return anything for us. It didn't for me, except for good product. And those were my choices then. But I'm disabled. I'm on disability. And I could not afford my own place with what I get. And I have seen and studied and worked with Onpassive from day one to learn and to see the benefits of how this is going to help me, but also help me help others, which has always been one of my taglines from the moment I think that I really started working, when I think about it, because even on the ships, I was helping other people. Even when I had the health food store, I was helping other people. So I have always been there to help others. But I've also helped people more when they've taken responsibility and not abdicated responsibility to do things for themselves as well. We can all give a lending hand and helping hand to others. And that's where so much more is going to open up for all of us. And we are going to see the possibilities, the endless possibilities, things that we've never even thought of, happening not only for us, but what we are going to be able to do to help others. And that's not simply, as I'm reminded by my sister, who keeps me on the straight and makes me think, it's not always solved by an envelope with money in it. You teach people how to fish, they will fish forever and always have food to eat. If you give them an envelope, yes, it might help them over that immediate hurdle or hump or challenge, and it is sometimes needed, absolutely, but it is not always the answer to helping other people. So we've got some incredible minds in Onpassive as founder members, and people who have got the most amazing ideas of what they want to do, humanitarian, professionally, and all sorts of things in between. And we are going to do this together. And you know what? Some people are not going to want to do it together. They are going to want to do it themselves or through their family and with their families. And you know what? That's fine too. But we're all part of this amazing company. And this company is a business. It's not a cult. It's not a spiritual awakening. This is a business. So let's put that first and foremost. Our perception, our gratitude, our appreciation can come forward in many ways. But to people who are listening, we also all realize that this is a very grounded, 2 feet on the ground business. So make no mistake, we don't have any illusions here about what this company is all about. The respect that you hear with the titles and acknowledgements of brother and sister and family members is because it's out of love and respect for each other through the friendships that we have developed over the years that we've been in Onpassive. So think about coming and looking at the products if you're listening to this for the first time. If you're in it, please seriously think about getting yourselves into the first section and distribution, which will be starting anytime after next week and after the 16th, and quite possibly before the end of the month. But if you cannot do that, it's all right. You haven't lost the opportunity to be part of Onpassive. It will just happen at a different pace. The other thing I'd like to make a suggestion just before I say thank you and goodbye is if you do hold multiple positions because you purchased for various reasons, family members, charities, other works that you want to do, and you're stuck or you're unable to purchase for all of them, purchase for one or purchase for your main 1 or 2 accounts if you can, because that will start the process. And from those proceeds and commissions that you will then receive, you will then be able to start to make the others active. It might not all happen at once, and that's perfectly all right, but you are in it, and it is going to happen if you make these steps and take these first steps to make it happen. Only you can do that, and it's only your decision. No right and no wrong. But I am very, very grateful to be here, and I'm so thrilled again to have been with you, Collins, and Marty with you this morning. So stay warm if you're in snow belts where it's coming down or where it's raining and drizzly and miserable and gray. And for those of you in the hot climates, just keep smiling, because the alternative would be minus 30 degree, minus 40 degree, minus 50 degree weather like they're having out west in Canada. So have a wonderful weekend, and let's look after each other. Thanks, everybody.
Wow, that was a good live. I feel good, and we love y'all. And like I said, just get updated. Help anybody that needs help. Don't try to talk anybody into something. Tomorrow is O Heroes at 2 o'clock. If you do have a Q and an A, that is where to go. That's where I would go. There's other webinars. I'm not putting them down. That's just where I would go. There's a lot of meetings going on. Also, you have Comfort, who's one of the best of the best. Again, that's my opinion. And just look around, learn what you can, and help each other. Remember, you could be a hero. You know, you have the cape, you're going to be able to fly. Okay, so do that. I hope you do, and I can't wait to see your face and hear some of the testimonies 6-7 months from now. Anyway, I'll see you all. Collins, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.
Robin, thank you. What you heard today is a conversation we would have. We just happened to videotape it. That's how we talk behind the scenes, believe it or not. So anyway, see you all, and thank you very much.
Marty, just one announcement.
Okay, go ahead.
We have Empowerment Network with the OTech Pros at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Today.
Yes.
Oh, look for that, okay? Because there's one thing I know for sure. Not enough people go to it. They should be flooding that. Really, really. So thank you, Collins. And Collins, every day when you have that, put it in the thing. I want people to go there. That's where they should be going. Okay, thank you, everybody. And anything else, Robin or Collins, before I shut this button off?
No, we're good. Thank you, everybody.
Right. Over 400 people today. I am grateful that everyone showed up. See what happens when you bring on powerhouses. Anyway, Q-Tip Man is be back tomorrow. That's right. I'm not supposed to call him that. Well, my bad. Anyway, I'll see you all and have a great